Defend the data disks.
Hello guys, Ragnar Kyber Revived here, bringing you some information about patch notes that are coming in November for Metal Gear Online 3. Now, I just want people to know I have a whole slew of things, a whole review coming along of issues that I had with the game. And while these patch notes don't fix the major issues I had, which is the lack of game modes, the lack of gear, and the microtransactions in the game, which kind of depress me, this patch does do well to comprehensively address a lot of issues across the board with this game. And while I hope this is not an exhaustive list, I do hope that there's more to come. The list is very comprehensive as it stands right now, and they announced a bunch of stuff on Twitter. I think all the stuff that they announced on Twitter is here. The way they said it on Twitter, it sounded like they didn't announce everything. And it sounds like they're going to keep looking at stuff and changing stuff as it goes along. So I hope everything we see here stays, but I do hope that we get more stuff later on. So, I wanted to note that my review that I'm going to post was recorded before I knew the details of this patch. I knew that there was going to be a patch, but I didn't know what the actual patch would entail. I didn't know anything. So, just bear that in mind if you're watching that review, that this is before the patch. Again, it's coming out in November, so no one has played it yet. So just keep that in mind if you're watching the review whenever I fucking decide to post it. Anyway, moving on. Auto matching. You will now be auto matched with players of similar level to your highest character level. It is now less likely to join a host with a poor network connection. That's great. That's just fantastic. Mission adjustments. The game will now end once all teammates are stunned or tranquilized in Cloak and Dagger. Now, I thought that was weird that in Cloak and Dagger, you could stun a person who was the last person alive, and the game wouldn't end. You could just like fucking teabag their body and do whatever you wanted to them, and the game would still not end. So that's cool that they're doing that, although I hope that's not the only thing that they're fixing with Cloak and Dagger. What I really want them to fix, I'm going to do this in a different voice so that people know that this is just my opinion and not the actual patch notes. But what I really want them to fix is I want them to make it so that the stealth team, or rather the defending team, cannot use stealth. And so that scouts cannot mark the attacking team members through their stealth. And so that the attacking team is 100% invisible in certain circumstances. So that's what I think they should do, but that's just my opinion. It's not, and nothing is verified yet, so we'll see. Next, loadout and equipment adjustments. The E-Locator is now only available for the Scout class, which I think is an interesting thing. I don't know how this is going to work, but I think it's very interesting to divide up the classes a little more. I definitely thought this myself. You know, why does an infiltrator need a machine gun? Why does an infiltrator need a grenade launcher? What in the world? They're supposed to be a fast class. Why do they have all this heavy equipment? I definitely thought that. So it's cool to see that some of this stuff will actually be implemented. So E-Locator only for Scout class. Machine guns and launchers will now only be available for the Enforcer class. Again, like I said, no reason for an infiltrator to have a machine gun, a light machine gun and a launcher. Shotguns will now only be available for the Infiltrator class. I think that's interesting. I don't know how that's going to play out. Yeah, as a result of these changes, custom loadouts will be initialized during the maintenance period following the update patch. That basically means, I think, we're going to have to redo our loadouts after they patch the game so that people don't, glitch it out and still have things that they're not supposed to be using. Yeah. Character ability adjustments. Overall movement speed will be increased. I think that's actually pretty good. Some maps like Jade Forest take forever to walk across. Oh my gosh. And if you're not sprinting, you're just not going to get anywhere. That's what it is. So I hope it's. I don't know how dramatic it's going to be, but I do like the fact that they're going to increase movement speed. Mobility has been rebalanced to allow faster traveling between objectives. Again, great. If someone's uploading a disc, or if someone's taking a comm and comm control, or if someone's killing your teammate, there's nothing you can do. You just got to sit there and take it because you're often, if you're 10 meters away, you're too far away to do anything. That's how it is. So I'm glad that they're increasing movement speed and rebalancing movement speed so that, you know, you can actually do stuff a lot faster in this game. Infiltrators will have health and stamina decreased. Okay. I mean, they're supposed to have the least stealth and stamina of all the 3 classes. I actually didn't realize that each class had a different amount of health. So either it wasn't dramatic enough or it was done right, so I just didn't even think about it. But that's good. I mean, infiltrators aren't supposed to be, you know, heavy doer, like heavy gunners and stuff like that. They're supposed to be, you know, sneaky typing stuff. I might actually start using stealth. I have an infiltrator that's on level 38 with Ascension and First Ascension. And I might actually start using stealth again. I haven't been using stealth on her because I thought it was overpowered. But I might actually start using it again if it's not super crazy overpowered anymore. Because it might actually be necessary now since I can't win direct gunfights if I have lower health. So that actually, having lower health and stuff might actually explain why I lose so many gunfights. Or why I always kill myself, or rather, I kill the person and they kill me right afterward, sort of thing. Or it might just be lag. Okay, Enforcers will have health and stamina increased, so that's going to be devastating. Scouts will have health increased. I don't know exactly how much, but I guess their reasoning behind that was that infiltrators in direct gunfights keep beating scouts, and that's not supposed to be the way it is. Infiltrators, being the fast class, are supposed to be able to get the drop on people, so they shouldn't be beating people in direct gunfights, which I agree with. So, you know, hey, cool. Scouts will be able to mark targets more quickly using binoculars. Awesome, overall. Awesome for scouts, like I think they should be. I also have a scout named Black Dahlia, and it shouldn't take forever for me to mark someone. Weapon adjustments. Firing sway for machine guns will be reduced. Thank you. Just thank you. Because using machine guns is hard, man. The accuracy is so bad. Weapon sway will be reduced overall when aiming in first-person view. That's nice. I thought that was specifically for sniper rifles, but I guess not. But yeah, if you haven't seen the weapon sway for sniper rifles, even with Sniper 1 equipped, which is supposed to reduce the weapon sway, oh my goodness, it is preposterous. You can't aim at anything. So you just have to go with the weapon sway. It's not like Call of Duty where you can take a breath in and reduce the sway that way. It's you just have to kind of move with the motion of the gun, the random motion of the gun, and just try to get it that way, especially if you're trying to get a headshot. And yeah, so I'm glad that they're reducing the weapon sway. I think it'll make it a lot easier to snipe and a lot easier to do stuff and be useful to your team that way. Sometimes I'm missing shots that I really shouldn't be missing, just because the weapon sway is a tiny bit off. Damage inflicted by Walker Gear's Gatling gun will be reduced. Okay, I've used the Walker Gear, and I didn't think the Gatling gun was that overpowered. I think Walker Gear itself is kind of ridiculous, but I don't think the Gatling gun was the particular issue. But anyway, Walker Gears and anti-aircraft will now take more damage from certain weapons. That's cool. Weapon damage of certain weapons are being adjusted for better balance. Okay, just too vague, so I don't really know what to say about that. This is what I really like. Damage value on the Yasando RGL 220 will be significantly reduced. For people who don't know what that is, I believe that that's a sleep grenade launcher. And that's fantastic. That sleep grenade launcher, which I'm going to mention in my review, or rather I have mentioned in my review that I haven't uploaded yet, but that sleep grenade launcher is so overpowered, man. I thought in Bounty Hunter and in Cloak and Dagger, it was just such an overpowered weapon. And I said the way they need to balance it out is to make it so that it doesn't have as fast a firing rate, the weapon radius is not as big, and all kinds of other stuff. So the fact that they're nerfing the Yasando is amazing. I love it. I think it's the non-lethal grenade launcher, because they said in the tweet non-lethal launcher, non-lethal damage. So I think that's great. because it was just, the Sleep Gas Grenade Launcher was just dominating every game mode. Reduced ammo count on the Hisando RGL 220. That's what I also thought, is that, you know, why are you able to carry like 17,000 grenades when you have this grenade launcher? Obviously, it's going to be spammed. So, thankfully, they're doing something about that. I didn't even mention that like in a tweet or anything. Or I might have. I don't even know. But, so, people obviously were as frustrated by that as me. Maximum carry for E-Locator, Stun Grenade, and Sleep Grenade will be reduced. Thank goodness. People can no longer spam Stun Grenades and E-Locators. That's great. Sleep Grenades I thought were underpowered to begin with because they take forever to... not underpowered. They're just the right amount of powered. Because they take a little while to actually start phasing out the smoke. I don't know if that changes. There's one skill that makes grenades explode on impact, which is kind of a ridiculous skill if you ask me. But there is one skill that does that, so I don't know if that actually affects sleep grenades as well. I might have to try that out. But as sleep grenades are, I didn't think they were terribly overpowered. So, I mean, hey, you know, it's an overall thing. So if you're gonna take maximum carry away from some, you take it away from all. I don't mind that. Throwing arc for empty magazines will be invisible to enemies. The noise radius for empty magazines will be expanded when they land. I didn't think anyone actually used empty magazines, so that's news to me. What I've noticed actually is on this game, people don't really pay attention to the noise markers on the map. I always pay attention to noise on the map. On the mini-map, if someone makes noise, it shows up. If an enemy makes noise, it shows up on the map. As a kind of indefinite noise marker thing. So I've been following that, but a lot of people don't. So I guess that's kind of the difference between a novice player and a pro player like myself, who's won 10 championships. Is that if you I haven't won 10 championships. If you pay attention to the map, you're more likely to find the person you're looking for. So yeah, I just think more people should pay more attention to the map. That would make the game work a lot better. It might be that way because the game doesn't really explain much when you first get into it. So there's not really a tutorial that says, hey, look at the map, people make noise. You just have to kind of assume and figure it out for yourself. So yeah. Anyway, moving on. Item adjustments. Maximum carry amount of cardboard box will be increased. So they specifically said in the tweet that people will be able to hold 2 cardboard boxes. I don't know if that can be increased some other way, but that's cool. I like it. Because if you take out your cardboard box, because maybe someone's spamming stun grenades, so you take out your cardboard box, and it's raining, you lose your cardboard box because it's raining. Or if you take out your cardboard box, someone marks you. I didn't even know you could do this, actually, so this is cool. So if someone marks you and you take out your cardboard box and leave it behind, so you go prone in your cardboard box and you dash out of it, or dive out of it, the marker will stay on the cardboard box and it'll leave you. So that's actually pretty cool. And that's one way you can have sort of a decoy in the game. And that's a fantastic mechanic. I didn't even know you could do that until recently. So, yeah, having multiple cardboard boxes will be more useful. I don't know if that's going to affect the weight of the cardboard box, but having multiple will be more useful for leaving behind decoys and getting through stun grenades and stuff like that. Moving on, Stealth Camo, or stealthcamo.pp, I don't know what the PP stands for. Adjustments will be made using the Stealth Camo Plus ability. Stealth Camo will be temporarily disabled when taking damage. Cool. Battery life will be reduced. I hope it's more dramatic than they make it seem. And battery will take longer to charge. Cool. Marking time for cloak players will be reduced. Now, I think that means if they have Stealth Camo on, their marker will not last as long. So if you mark them, it'll go away a little faster. That's what I think that means. I'm not sure. Cloaked players detected with night vision goggles will be marked in standard marking time. So that's basically saying that if the scout has optics level 3, then they can still mark stealth players, which is annoying for cloak and daggers. But in general speaking, they can still mark stealth players, and the time it takes to mark them is the same as a normal character. So I think that's pretty cool for scouts. CQC adjustments. Range for CQC grabs will be narrowed. Oh god, it's like sex for my ears. Ear sex. Icon for CQC grabs will no longer be displayed. I also really like that. One, it makes Cloak and Dagger a little more useful, a little better, because if you're in Cloak and Dagger and the defending teammate just happens to be running around someone who's stealth, then the icon will appear. So it's like, oh yeah, okay, someone's clearly here. Whereas if the icon weren't there, they would have no idea unless they just see the freaking head popping out of somewhere. So that's really cool, and I think it'll make gameplay a lot more dynamic, a lot more versatile if you can't see the icon and you just have to trust your gut and go with it that way. I think that'll be fantastic to take away the icon, and that was one of the most interesting changes that they announced, because I didn't even think about that. And I thought about, well, maybe you should take away the icon in Cloak and Dagger and stuff like that. But I didn't think about like just overall taking the icon away. I think that might actually make CQC a lot better. And what they were doing in the Twitter thing is that they were explaining that CQC was a lot more overpowered than it should have been, and a lot more erratic than it should have been. So they've been making it more balanced and less viable of an option. And here's how they do that. Non-lethal damage done by CQC hits and grabs will be reduced. So that's fantastic. That means you can no longer sprint up to someone and slam them down and have them be knocked out. One-hit CQC knockouts will become exclusive to infiltrators with CQC stealth level 2 or higher. So you actually do have to use a skill in order to knock someone out in one hit with CQC stealth, with CQC slams and stuff like that. So that's really cool. I think that's great. That's how it should have been in the first place. Just like in Metal Gear Online 2, if you wanted to knock someone out in one slam, you had to have a special skill for that, I believe. So yeah, that's amazing. I like that they have to do that, and that's gonna make people sacrifice. Oh, maybe I can't have stealth camo if I need CQC stealth level 2. And stuff like that. So I think that's fantastic. I think that's really good that they did that. Fulton adjustments. Fulton speed when using Fulton level 2 or greater will be slowed. Now they did this because if you get Fulton with someone who has Fulton level 2, there is no time to be saved whatsoever. Like the balloon will like rise up and then literally shoot up into the sky. And in rare occasions will you be able to save someone who is being Fulton with Fulton level 2. So I think this is a great adjustment. I don't know how dramatic it's going to be, but they said that they're going to give people a realistic time to be saved. So that's good, because before, if a teammate was being Fulton with Fulton level 2, you just had to shrug your shoulders and say, "Sorry, man, I'm giving up on that one. That's a battle I'm not going to win." All right, so there's that. So that's pretty cool. When a player Fultons an enemy, the Fulton balloon and the enemy will be invincible to other teammates. I didn't actually realize this, but apparently teammates can shoot down other teammates' Fulton balloons. I don't know why they would want to, unless they're being little shitty trolls. But, yeah, that's cool. That's a good adjustment. That's really good. Also, I don't want my teammates to think I'm shooting down the enemy. Also, what people would sometimes do is they would get easy assists and easy alerts on stealth opponents in Cloak and Dagger by shooting a person who's already about to be Fulton. So if that eliminates that as well, I think that would be a good addition, because that's not an assist if you just shoot someone who's already down for the count. So I think that'll be a good addition as well if they do it that way, because they said that the person being Fulton is also invulnerable while they're on the balloon. So that's cool. Buddy system adjustments. Time required to establish a buddy link using the buddy link action will be shortened. Link action will succeed regardless of the direction your character is facing, as long as you are in range. So that's basically, if you want to start a buddy link It doesn't matter where you're facing, as long as someone's in your vicinity and you do the salute, it will happen quickly, and it will happen. The final thing is what I really like. The buddy gauge will now clear at the beginning of each round. That's great, because there was an unfair advantage to people who were sneaking and stuff in the second round in Cloak and Dagger, because they would already have their wormhole available. And for people who play a lot of team sneaking, the wormhole is very useful. Why? Because if you get the target, you can teleport all the way across the map and then start uploading the target immediately. So, if it takes the full round for the buddy gauge to replenish again, then that's fantastic. That makes the game a lot more balanced for both teams who are going through it. And I think that's an amazing adjustment. I think these are a lot of really good adjustments. Other adjustments. The search filters in select match can now saved. I think they mean can now be saved. So. Oh wait, well no, actually I read that wrong. The search filters in select match will now be saved. So I don't know if there's an option to save them or if they are just automatically saved. It sounds like they're just automatically saved. There's a memory. And last adjustment, countdown time on the spawn screen has been extended from 10 seconds to 15 seconds. The reason why they did this is because people like me would always spawn into the game before choosing a weapon. Because, you know, sometimes I'm a little indecisive and I'm like, yeah, maybe I want to go with this class or this class. Oh my gosh, we only have 1 second left. Oh, now I don't have a gun. So that's cool that they changed that. And just a final note, please note that the patch is still a work in progress and some adjustments may differ in the final update. Details regarding the final changes will be announced once the patch is released. Regarding issues not addressed above, we are constantly monitoring user feedback and will continue to make changes and adjustments moving forward. Thank you very much for your continued support of Metal Gear Online. I think this is great. It's a very, very comprehensive list of changes, and if they hold true to everything that they've said, I think the game is gonna play a lot better. Now, I really do hope that they make game mode specific changes specifically for Cloak and Dagger, because that's for me the most broken game mode. Not broken, but it's the most unbalanced game mode in terms of the defenders have a way bigger advantage over the attackers, because the attackers are never 100% invisible. The defenders can also use stealth, and the scouts can mark the attackers through their stealth. So I think that would be cool if they you know, added some new changes to Cloak and Dagger. But as far as everything else, the changes that they've announced are pretty comprehensive. Again, I hope there's not an exhaustive list, but they're fantastic. I like them overall, and there's nothing I have issue with. There's nothing I'm saying, what? Why would you do that? And if you do that, chances are you're probably an asshole. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please like the video if you liked the video, and subscribe to my channel for more Metal Gear Online and Naruto Storm as stuff goes along. I actually haven't played Naruto Storm in a while, so I might get back on that. And Storm 4 is coming out, and it's looking pretty fantastic. Did you see that there might be stage destruction? Like actual building destruction and stuff in the game? That's fantastic. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Have a good one, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.